So last week we were talking about the PR nightmare that is following It Ends With Us. It's this new, it's not a rom-com. It is a romantic drama based on Colleen Hoover's novel of the same title. And just recently, Blake Lively has been doing promo for the movie, and Justin Baldoni, the director and co-star in the movie, has been doing press as well. But they seem to be suspiciously separate in all of their interviews, and people were side-eyeing that, asking questions. What's going on here? Did they go through some kind of fight on set?
Jesse Ventura, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, and as this has all been escalating further and further, people are comparing it to the Don't Worry Darling PR nightmare from last year. That was last year, right?
At least, yeah.
Right, where Florence Pugh almost refused to do the movie because Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be in it.
Olivia Wilde
was directing it and hooking up with Harry Styles on the side. I think the Don't Worry Darling drama was
okay when
way
a woman
more
director
entertaining.
does it, yeah.
I think that drama was way better. But this drama is still escalating and circulating. More details are coming out. The newest update is that Justin Baldoni, the director, has hired the same PR crisis management firm that Johnny Depp hired during the defamation trial.
So we talk all the time about how, like, Mary, we'd say about the greatest job in the world would be to be a defense lawyer because your job is just to be a dick.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of the same thing with
It'd
these
be in
PR,
everyone else's business.
These PR defense firms are kind of the same now. These PR firms whose job it is, it's like, oh, somebody's trying to trash your reputation. Allow us to go and trash their reputation first.
So now I'm seeing takes from all sides. Some people are saying Blake Lively was a bully and a mean girl, and she was using her studio power to bully him and his creative direction, as well as her husband's fame. But other people are saying that Justin Baldoni is the good guy in this situation because he's trying to bring awareness to domestic violence.
Okay, I know that this makes me a bad person, but
domestic violence, what happened?
That's in the movie. The main character meets this guy, and he's a neurosurgeon, and it's all great. And then she starts to see that he has red flags, and he turns out to be abusive, so she has to leave him.
This sounds like a terrible show.
I know that this makes me a bad person, but I don't want you to draw awareness to anything.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, I don't want you to make art that has any type of long-term message. It can have it in the movie, but the promotion should have zero to do with raising awareness.
Even if it's misleading, the primary difference here is I would want to see the movie that Blake Lively is talking about. I do not want to see the movie that Justin Baldoni is talking about. Yeah. And the male feminist pandering is palpable.
And he has been doing this for a long time. So he was the lead actor on a show called Jane the Virgin, which Olivia made me watch.
Yes.
Not my genre. It's basically like a network television telenovela.
I've never even heard of any of these.
And in the show, I've made the joke all the time that all the men are basically, dorks who end up acquiescing to whatever the women say. They're like, I disagree. And the woman's like, well, actually this. And the guy's like, oh, I guess you're right. That's like literally the whole show. And the actor himself has done a bunch of TED Talks about redefining masculinity and what it actually means to be a man in the 21st century.
When I see that,
you just know
when I see that, I'm like, you're a rapist. Like, when I see that male feminist pandering, I'm like, you're secretly a rapist.
You don't mean him, but you mean in general.
I used to think that.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
I used to think that, but now that I think like we're poisoned so much that like everybody is like super, super low T and that they're turning into like women.
Maybe he's being for real. I don't know. But this person
like you
said,
can't be a man and be that girly.
In their industry, men being feminine is now, it's encouraged so much that it's just beneficial as a job requirement.
So the newest story from TMZ is that Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni had some tension on set because she felt fat shamed by him. There was a scene in which Justin Baldoni was supposed to lift her up. And he had a history of back problems.
This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever read, but it's also the funniest.
So Justin Baldoni went to his on-set trainer and asked how much she weighed and how he could train to protect his back from injury while lifting her in the air.
I said on Twitter,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I said on Twitter, I said, using corporate to fat shame your co-star is elite. That is amazing.
So, she was postpartum while she was doing this, and I heard some rumors that she was sensitive about some of the things she was saying, or things he was saying about her body, and supposedly behind her back.
Why is she out there if she's postpartum?
I don't know, but she's not fat by any means, not even close.
Well, I mean,
she never has been.
Let's just say, like I gained I gained a lot of weight in the last year. I gained 30 pounds, right? And for me, that's a lot, right? And so people are like, oh, you're not fat, but I don't fit into a 4 anymore, so I feel fat.
Fat for
like,
you,
fat
I guess,
for
is
me,
a different
right?
definition.
So she feels fat for her, so I get that. However, she's like a mother. Stay home with your kids and you won't have to worry about anybody feeling how fat you are postpartum.
I mean, it's not like she's known for acting
so
as much
beautiful,
these
though.
days. Like, she's more known as his wife than...
She's more known as Ryan Reynolds' wife and also like fashion icon.
Yes,
she has a
that's
hair
right.
care brand. She has like an alcoholic seltzer that she's peddling now. That's what she does.
I literally knew her as one of the girls from the I Just Had Sex music video from Lonely Island.
So the inside source
Jessica Alba.
also tells of a second incident that allegedly made Blake Lively uncomfortable on set when the two of them were in the middle of a kissing scene. And Blake felt that Justin Baldoni lingered longer than he should have with the
She
kiss.
just shouldn't be doing any of this.
Where
This is
the,
why intimacy coordinators exist.
I was going to say, where was the intimacy coordinator in all
What's
this?
an intimacy? Stop it.
That's
They
a,
have,
that's
Have
a
you
job.
heard of these?
No. Are you kidding me? They have like a person hired to do this?
Yeah, to choreograph sex scenes, anything that
We
involves...
should. What? We already have too many sex scenes anyway. She shouldn't be doing this postpartum. And if somebody wants to like pick her up and is concerned about her weight, it's legitimate. She needs to be stopped being sensitive.
He
as
should
much as I
also
like
not
her.
be such a spindly beta male. I mean, he should probably be
The
able
thing
to
is,
lift
though, is
her.
like, at least back when that show came out, the dude was in like really, really good shape. So I don't
So
know
what
if he's just...
happened? I
I
don't
mean,
know.
maybe he is, and it's just like the way they're dressing him.
Maybe she was annoying with all her like, my weight, and then he was like, all right, well then, if you're so concerned about it,
I'm sorry.
then I'm going to see how much you weigh and figure it out.
I refuse to believe that his back injury was so bad that just
No, he's
picking
trolling
up
her.
another human being was actually a problem. I think he was just fat shaming her via corporate.
I think he was mad that he wasn't allowed to make this movie the propaganda piece that he wanted it to be. He wanted to make a movie for domestic violence awareness. He wanted to make this an
Stop
activist
raising
movie.
awareness on everything. The only
Yeah.
thing worse than that is calling yourself an activist.
It's all he can bear to talk about in any of these interviews is just abuse and domestic violence instead of anything that's happening in the
Imagine
movie.
doing that and then going into the movie and wondering why everyone's all bummed out.
Yeah, so Blake Lively is trying to lighten the mood, and in one of these promo videos, she's like, "Guys, It Ends With Us is out. Go to the movies with your friends and dress up in florals," because that's one of the themes where the main character is a florist. She was like, "Wear your florals and go to see it with your friends."
She very clearly understands women
She's
far better.
marketing it like it's a rom-com, but it's not, and that makes people want to see it, even if that's not
I have a
true to the movie.
question.
And it is successsul. It passed $100 million in its first week
Mm-hmm.
on a $25 million budget. So this is by every metric a very big success.
Do you think that like, and this has just popped into my mind because I don't know anything about it, but Sound of Freedom was like super duper successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that like that's what they're doing? Like It Ends With Us and like they're trying to do some leftist...
It's more akin to what
It
she was
sort of
saying
seems
about...
like they're going that direction. Yeah.
It's
Because
more
this is not
akin-
the only one. We're having another one come out about like adoption or something too, or something.
Oh, so
The
they
Sound
did
of
Sound
Hope?
of Hope.
Sound of
which
Hope,
was-
right? And so now this is like It Ends With Us. Is that like the new type of genre of movie? Are these like
raising awareness movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect it so much more in the case of Sound of Freedom,
Yes.
especially because it's based on a true story and it's not based on a grocery store novel.
Based solely on my political bias, I support the...
I mean, it's not just political bias.
I wouldn't go see that. I refuse to see that Sound of Freedom.
It's complicated.
I enjoyed
but-
Sound of Freedom, but Jim Caviezel is one of my favorite actors, so that's different for me.
I don't want to see anything that's gonna like make me feel bad about my children, like or worry more or anything.
It'll
like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it'll make you
understand
worry
that.
more.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not doing that.
I also enjoyed that one for different reasons because human trafficking is a story that Hollywood has a lot less. They don't do those storylines as much. Like
Probably because they're involved.
I
in
don't
it.
know, but look, every
what
cop
I was
show,
thinking, man.
Huh.
every cop show ever made does maybe 1 or 2 episodes that lightly touch on it, but very few of them actually go
Yeah.
deep into that the way they do other types
Special
of
Victims Unit
horrific-
must have did 1,000 episodes on domestic violence.
No, yeah, on domestic violence. I'm saying human trafficking. Human trafficking is
They
one.
probably did a couple on that too, though.
is much no child trafficking far less than maybe
Yeah.
like
No, because who wants to hear about that? It's miserable.
yeah, it's depressing.
Yeah, so I guess that's why Blake Lively felt like she wanted to market it in a more lighthearted way.
The thing is
but they're
that
basically
works.
saying that Blake Lively is disrespecting the victims of domestic violence by trying to
then
make
good. Have nobody come watch your show.
like take the spotlight off of the subject matter of the movie and making it about herself, making it about promoting her hair care line, making it about promoting her new like alcohol brand and her fashion sense and
But
all of
it
this stuff
seems-
that's ancillary to it.
It
That's
does
what she's good
seem
at.
that
Yeah.
Justin Baldani's like the group that he hired is doing their job, because for the last 3 days there has been nothing but mean girl headlines about Blake Lively, with all of these clips resurfacing. And why that's interesting, guys, even if you don't care about the generic gossip nature of it, it's the way that for-profit companies are able to shift public perspective about individuals
Right, so
very easily.
Justin Baldoni hired this crisis management firm to just nonstop pump out headlines that are against Blake Lively's public image. One of them says, Blake Lively labeled a mean girl after viral fan encounter.
Let's watch this video that somebody posted.
It's so,
Let me refresh it
It's
here.
so underwhelming. The way that they're reading into this is insane.
That's so sweet. I'm gonna put it here because it doesn't go with my outfit, but I will wear it later.
Thank you. That was it.
It was perfectly. Somebody gave her a bracelet, and she's like, "That was so sweet." She was perfectly kind. Said, "I'm not gonna wear it right now because it doesn't go with my outfit."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like
was fine.
so what?
Yeah.
But they're just scraping anything they can, including the fact that she got married on a plantation.
Yes, they really hate that.
I would get married on
Yeah.
a plantation too. I would live on a plantation. Now, here's my question. If back up for a second, this is her co-star, the director.
Yes.
that
She's the director and the.
and so
the
they
co-star.
put a crisis team on their person that's the film. So
No, he hired it individually, separate from the film.
right, separate
Right.
from the film, to go after his co-star of the film.
Yes.
The film people should be suing him for putting bad publicity.
I mean, I
out.
don't think that. I think in this
Well,
case,
I think
it's
it actually
just-
is helping them.
Yes, I think it's just far enough away from a serious issue that it can be looked at as interpersonal drama, which only benefits the reach of the film. So if this
Mm-hmm.
got any more specific about the accusations about a kiss lingering too far on set, then you're getting into uncomfortable territory that relates back to Me Too. But they've kept all of this talk just far enough away from serious that it does nothing but bolster its public image.
Here's the
film's public
worst thing that came out about Blake Lively. This is an interview from back in 2016 when she was doing press for a different movie entirely. And this interviewer, she like made a public statement about how bad this was. She said, sitting down with Blake Lively for Cafe Society is the most uncomfortable interview situation I have ever experienced. It is not okay. Or she said, is it not okay to congratulate someone on their pregnancy or ask another woman about costumes that she is wearing in a film? So the entire
Look,
time,
every dude knows you don't ask that question unless you know. You know how they say a lawyer should never ask a question they don't know the answer to? Guys, if you don't know for sure if she's pregnant or not, just don't ask.
it was publicly known
know, I
at
know.
the time that Blake Lively was pregnant, right?
Yep.
So she congratulated Blake Lively on being pregnant, to which she said back, oh, congrats on your little bump. This, like, that's really bad. Like, that is more than a faux pas. That's just bitchy.
I love it.
Wait a minute. Wait, I'm so.
So the
Let's look at
interviewer.
the video.
Do you,
Yeah, let's
this
do
is
the
3
video.
minutes. Do we know where in the?
It's
interview it
toward
is?
the beginning,
Okay.
very beginning of it, I think.
First of all, congrats.
Oh, the audio is really low.
Congrats on your little bump.
Hold on.
Like,
Congrats on your.
Okay, but wait. You're sure that it was out in public that she was
Yeah.
pregnant?
yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna see if I can find.
Well, that's
the,
weird then.
It's I
don't think it's
equated
bad,
it to.
it's just weird.
Have you ever
Here,
seen?
I'll
the,
send you the link to just that part of the interview so we can play it.
the thing
you
that
get
people
it?
make videos about, where somebody's like, when the waiter says "enjoy your dinner" and you say "you too," and then you want to die because it makes no
Here's
sense.
the other thing with these like snippets of interactions. Like, we don't know what transpired before. We don't know
Sure.
if that lady was
Yeah.
like a bee to
Definitely.
her. And so she was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity for me to give a little jab, and I will. So,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
me. I like the spiteful, mean stuff.
do you have
The interview is it's still very low.
Congrats on your little bump. Congrats on your little bump.
like, that's bad.
That is about as
I
mean
don't think
girl
it's
as
that
it gets.
bad.
So in another part of the interview,
I mean, if you think about it like this, it's the start of the interview. This wasn't like a jab at
like
the
we're not
end.
starting off
Who
on a
knows
great
if like
note.
yeah, but like who knows if she walked in all flustered and she was like, oh, you know, could you be any more like you're 5 minutes late, and like gave her an attitude and then sat down.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, by the way, like fake congrats on your
Yeah.
pregnancy. Like it didn't seem authentic, her
Yeah.
thanks either. I don't know. I just think that that's a little out of context, and I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah.
And
And
then-
the point is,
Mean
but
Girls.
that's the point of the PR firm, right? Is to take a bunch of clips
Right.
and create a storm of bad press to make her look bad to get ahead of the story that he was the problematic one on set.
And by the way, if you are like the weird reason I don't like that journalist person is like if you do have a bad experience like that, like are you really gonna go put it on blast like that?
It's very unprofessional.
Yes. So
Like, that's a story you tell your friends.
there's something else going on there. That's just my opinion.
That's a
Yeah.
story you tell your friends over the years when somebody asks, like, oh, who was the worst person you ever interviewed? And then you've got that story ready to go.
I had a booking nightmare this weekend, and I was like minutes from like texting at this company, like whatever. And I was like, all right, calm down. Don't do that. You know what I mean? I'll tell you guys, but I'm not going to like say it online or put it on Twitter. That's
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Have some self-control.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But, you know, I just think it's interesting that people can be manipulated so easily to believe one person or the other is totally the victim or totally the villain in any situation, especially this one, which is like so low stakes. Why does anyone care about it that much?
In the
They're
movies-
getting like actually heated as if Blake Lively is like against all abuse victims, or Justin
she's hot.
Baldoni is like he's a liar who's trying to slander a powerful woman in Hollywood. Like everyone is taking these sides and they don't know what the hell is going on.
It's the same thing with your favorite political pundits. Everybody puts like all their faith in like, okay, so now you have like two people warring that you liked, and now they're like
have to
fighting
pick
on
a
Twitter,
side.
and everybody feels like the intense need to pick a side, and then like say horrible things about the other one. It's like, guys, get your own life and stop caring about the lives of these people and their drama.
This is definitely a symptom of like celebrity idol worship, because you shouldn't have idolized Blake Lively or any of these people in the first place. Then you would never have to, you know, go through the experience of changing your mind about them.
Could you imagine
losing
being-
respect
I
for
say
them?
no. I say this all the time. I say you should never look at these celebrities as people. They are not people. They are vaguely interesting stories that you should analyze as objectively as possible and attach exactly zero of your own emotions to
Could
that.
you
Zero.
ever imagine like typing out a comment, right? Oh my God, Blake Lively is the absolute worst, right? She said this to the girl. I hate her.
She got
Like,
married on a plantation, and
what a horrible, like who has time for that?
When we talk about Rachel Zegler, I'm like, I find it moderately interesting that she's willing to just blow up a multi-million-dollar production over her political beliefs. Doesn't mean I care about her, nor will I ever. Like, it's actually fascinating that you're allowing like a foreign war to destroy your ability to do your job effectively. That's what you should care about, not care about whether we know what her opinion is on geopolitics.
Or if she wants everybody to wear flower dresses to a launch of a movie, like it's ridiculous.
yeah, people don't have enough problems in their own lives to worry about. I
They should be
suppose.
thankful.
Again, guys, don't listen to the celebrities as if they're people that you should look up to, because eventually someone in some way will let you down.
Yes, you will
All of the time.
despise whatever you idolize.
Yeah.
That's like something I live by. You should never idolize, because then you'll never despise them.
Don't they say to people, isn't that like a saying, never meet your idol?
Never meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes, yeah, something like that, yeah.
It's absolutely true.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.